Over the years, I've covered a lot of flat earth videos, which means I've encountered a lot of flat earthers. Now, some of those flat earthers I've continued to feature on Flat Earth Friday, but some of them I've not looked at for a long time. What happened after the dust settled? Well, today I take a look at where some of those flat earthers are now. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. But before we begin today, a quick thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Morning Brew. Morning Brew is a free daily newsletter, Monday to Saturday, that gets you up to speed with business news in 5 minutes. Before I subscribed to Morning Brew, my mornings were waiting in bed for homeschooling to start again. Now I take 5 minutes to sit down with a nice coffee and catch up with the latest business and tech news before the day kicks off. And what's great is that it is all witty and relevant information, a world away from the dense, dry, boring news sites that you normally get. And what I find especially good is the sheer variety of news on offer. And there's even a cheeky little game you can play as well to test your knowledge of the daily news. There's no reason not to subscribe to Morning Brew if you're interested in business, finance or tech. It's completely free and takes less than 15 seconds to subscribe, so click on the link in my description and subscribe to Morning Brew today. Right, back to the laser video where we're taking a look at where some of those flat earthers I'd featured in the past are now. Are they world renowned for proving flat earth, or have they crawled off into a world of YouTube nothingness? So the first Flat Earth Friday I ever did was on one D Marble, and I did cover him a few times since as well, but I wonder what he's up to now. Well, he seems to have moved on to political type commentary videos now, as well as going as far to tell his subscribers not to go to McDonald's. More importantly though, his last Flat Earth video was released 6 months ago. Encouraging. Perhaps even more scary for the D Marble fans, he hasn't released anything at all in the last 3 months. I do hope he's okay. After D Marble came N Benz, who was the first Flat Earther ever to respond to me. His channel has now completely gone, but the word is he's now moved on to gaming videos. Good for him. Soon after those, I looked at Flat Earth Fokker, who is a Canadian-based flat earther that also believes heavily in the Mandela effect.
I was driving over the Patello Bridge and all I saw was green. I can barely see houses now.
Well, his channel is still going, and from what I've seen, he still likes to try and flat smack people. However, it seems recently he's got himself in a bit of legal bother for breaking COVID-19 restrictions. No surprise there. My fourth video ever released was on the man, the myth, the legend that is Nathan Thompson. Now, we all know that he remains a flat earther, but a lot has happened to him quite recently. His YouTube channel has completely gone. I mean, even if you search for Nathan Thompson on YouTube, the first thing you get is an interview with Portsmouth FC player Nathan Thompson. Yuck. Just a little football rivalry joke there. Also, his Facebook group, you know, the biggest Facebook group for Flat Earth there ever is, or was scrubbed by Facebook. Amazing. Now I believe he spends his time living in his car and getting pranked by other YouTubers. Later, I discovered Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Del is not a big fan of mine.
Little smug weirdo with your idiotic cartoonery. Right? You, son, are the charlatan. You are out there to make money and infect the minds of people with your pseudoscience and your sophistry. Again, there is nothing on your channel apart from pseudoscience and sophistry. Same as this wee creepy weirdo.
Now, Del still streams 3-hour bore fests on a weekly basis, and Flat Earth is usually the topic of discussion. Thankfully though, he seems to remove the stream from his channel once he's done. Also, his views seem to be going nowhere fast. Excellent news. 3 months into my YouTube career, I found Mark Sargent when I had a crack at his speech he made in front of the Saturn V rocket. Now, Mark is still very much going strong with his YouTube Flat Earth content.
And I was hoping the academic community would come back at me and shut me down and say, okay, here's where you're absolutely wrong. You can shut down your YouTube channel and go back to your life of popcorn and wine and movies out in Colorado. And the funniest thing happened. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
No, the academics did not call me. In fact, the phone calls I was getting was from different subject matter experts, you know, in the military, all branches of the armed forces, pilots.
Regularly releasing videos and making TV/radio appearances. He is not going away without a fight. Now, do any of you remember Flat Earth Hero? He was the guy that used to sit indoors and wear sunglasses. And he lectured people about physics. Well, his channel still exists, but he hasn't released a video in over a year. More good news. My first encounter with Phuket Word was over Tides, and he was also one of the first flat earthers to ever respond to me.
Hello, flat earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. I'd like to introduce you to Simon Dan.
That's me.
Who has taken it upon himself to debunk one of my flat earth videos, specifically about tides, and re-educate me on how tides actually work, because gravity rules, apparently. Well, let's see what he has to say.
Unfortunately, Phuket Word is still producing flat earth content. Just last week, he posted this video on perspective. It's okay though, because a day later, it was a video about watching elephants. Maybe he's coming around. Next up was Mr. Stuart Pound. Anyone remember him?
A melon?
Yeah, you are. But how did the melon get there in the first place?
From what I can tell, his channel no longer exists, and I haven't seen him on YouTube for years. Win! Now, Marty Leeds was the numbers guy who liked to talk about pi a lot. I first encountered him when he hashed up his equinox dates to make his sum work in a video. So it appears he is still a flat earther, but he isn't really making flat earth content anymore. The last encounter I had with Marty was where he challenged me live to take an IQ test against him. I'm not even joking. It was 6 months into my YouTube career until I locked horns with the Flat Earth debate team.
Do you know, can I just say, Ranty, before you do, Nathan and I discussed whether we should even talk about this, and we came to the conclusion that we weren't going to mention it because we didn't really want to promote him.
That ship sailed, isn't it?
So well, yeah, we can mention it if you want, but...
Yeah, I'm happy to just congratulate Alkay on providing the most astounding flat earth proof that I've seen from any ball earther in recent times.
The original members of that group all have their own little stories. Ranty has moved on from Flat Earth, it seems. He's given his channel to another Flat Earther, and you can often find him now doing a paranormal type podcast with none other than Conspiracy Cats. Arwin still hosts his daily Flat Earth early bird show. He's on episode 823 now of that. And Sleeping Warrior has very recently lost his channel. What an absolute shame that is, hey? And Nathan Oakley is still running his daily debate show, still talking absolute nonsense to the same 200 people over and over and over. Who is Tesla came next. Remember him? He was going to be a flat earth game changer.
Appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to be throwing out a lot more videos. Like I said, I've been in this thing for a while. I've just been staying kind of dormant, kind of quiet. I am about to be the game changer in this movement.
He disappeared shortly after that statement and hasn't been seen since. Next up is the book ripper, Mr. Nathan Roberts.
This right here is lies and propaganda. So if you ever want to buy a children's book on space, then this is how I propose you do it. You get it off the bookshelves by first ripping it up, and then you buy it.
After spending some time mocking my accent, Nathan vanished from YouTube and now only has one video on his channel.
With it.
No surprises though that it's an anti-mask one. I believe he now releases his Flat Earth videos on a different video site, one in which no one watches. Good stuff. The next Flat Earther I encountered I obviously have very fond memories of. It's the Gate Guy. Yes, without a doubt, the single video that brought a lot of you to this channel and has carried on doing so to this very day. Well, you'll all be pleased to hear that his channel has finally been removed from YouTube. No more silly guitar riffs and gate experiments, I'm afraid. 8 months into YouTube, I stumbled across the most famous man in Westchester County, Mr. CC. Originally, I looked at one of his videos where he was claiming that the Space Shuttle external fuel tank was actually a bouncy castle. He is still, unfortunately, releasing Flat Earth videos from his car. He doesn't release them from his home anymore. I wonder why.
This is not to scale, of course. When I grew up, the solar system was stationary.
Alright, honey, come on.
The sun was standing.
Why don't you stop this bullshit?
Idiot.
With the channel almost a year old, I took on a YouTuber called Flattening Atheism. He was the one that thought it was appropriate to deface globes in Walmart.
And, you know, Europe and all of that. And again, for the trolls, this isn't for, you know, I'm not saying that we don't think countries are around. I'm saying this is not the accurate description of the earth, of God's world. It is fake. I don't know if you can see that or not. Fake, fake, fake. Canada, I'm just going to cross out. I'm sure a lot of you guys will just appreciate me for that.
Where is he now, I hear you ask? Another one in the YouTube graveyard, I'm afraid. Isn't it funny how a lot of these channels don't exist anymore? Dubay was next on my radar, as apparently I utterly ruined him. Well, Dubay is still going strong, and even has a Flat Earth movie coming out next month. Cannot wait to debunk the out of that. Next up was Mrs. Orphan Red, who had the idea that pictures from space aren't real because we weren't observing the cameras. Crazy, hey? Well, she remains a flat earther, and from what I hear, now has an OnlyFans account called Orphan Blue. Interesting. Who do we have next? Yes, it was Dave Murphy, the infamous urine drinker. I first encountered him when he was live on Malenko.
Turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, zooming in onto a place so that we can see what's happening at that place, and we know that there is something up there looking down on us from space. But they will not do it. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
What's he up to now? Well, after a collaboration with Roxanne the Globalist Denier called The Pursuit of Truthiness with Roxanne the Globalist Denier, he now seems to be on the anti-COVID/vaccine path. Shame, Dave. Maybe we'll have you on Tinfoil Tuesday soon. Another iconic Flat Earth Friday guest was Red Pill Philosophy. He was the high IQ research guy.
Hey guys, a little bit late, but I'm up doing a little bit of high IQ, skeptic research.
After a flurry of Flat Earth videos, he went a little bit quiet, and actually his channel has now been completely removed. What a shame. Moving on to the cosmic egg universe theory, which you may remember was brought to us by Flat Earther Martin Kenny.
Which is basically...
Careful of your model, man. I've been waiting for this.
This is the Ben. This is the Earth. But this is the top half. So if you imagine this at the top, there's also a bottom bit, an upside down pyramid.
Well, I recently covered an interview that he gave with big YouTube star Alfie Deyes. And since then, well, see for yourselves.
The Great Reset. What is the Great Reset?
Another one for Tinfoil Tuesday, it seems. I can't believe it took me almost a year and a half to cover the Globebusters, but I finally did in June of 2019 regarding a video they made on the Israeli moon mission. I've been bugging Bob a little while before that though.
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. Well, they're still doing their thing over on Globebusters, but they appear to now only have 5 videos on their channel. Their latest being Flat Earth, the only proof you ever need. Maybe we need to revisit the Globebusters. Well, there we go. What a lovely trip down memory lane and a really nice look at what some of those Flat Earthers are doing now. I guess there is one thing you can take away from this. I will absolutely still be here when the very last Flat Earth channel is gone. And I will keep being annoying to them until that day comes. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday, where those pesky flat earthers have finally gone after the Perseverance rover. See you then.